Hello everyone, welcome to a new stream. Today another session of coding. And actually before doing that, I just wanna know how does this work? Like I wanna display my status as I wanna stream and to I want this status to be displayed. Like how can I do that? I wanna you know hold on. Discord streaming status. Think I can. Is that a Twitch only feature? Like I don't know. I don't know. It would be cool if I could, display that I'm streaming on my profile. That would be fucking cool. And I mean, I can just add streaming. I don't know. And I will add, you know, a red circle emoji. Like, yeah, I think I think this is good. I will do that. And then let's try to open our YouTube channel right quick and check if I'm actually streaming. Yeah, I am. And also, okay, so I would save this file. I would save this. I don't know how to call it. Not there. I will call it, um, skill forms. Uh, submit check. I will call it like that. And then I create a new file, and there you know, I will try to define because yesterday, I had an I had a depressive episode. Like I had depression and I couldn't focus. For sometimes it happens. It's really, really, really annoying. And bro, what the fuck? Wait. I'm streaming right now. This place that I'm streaming. This makes no sense. Actually, but I don't really care. Like I don't know how it works. Like it didn't display it immediately. So I think I will just leave it right there, right there. But that's that's okay. I don't know if other people can't see it, and I really hope they can. They will just pop up with they will just pop in a shitty stream that it's not actually meant to be, professional. It's just for me, it's just for like to improve my communication skills and to, try to explain things and keep track of what I'm doing on my YouTube channel. And that's very useful for me. And it's not like, it's not like a big deal. So the thing is, I think we have to keep track of what we are actually doing. Like we need to, there is the form, and then we have some attributes. Okay, we have like the attributes start here, and but I think we need another object that stores, you know, that stores if you like if you hide something, or if something gets hidden, or anything else happens to a specific element, it should be stored in another box. That was the issue, because we need to keep track of what the user is doing. Like if you hide an element, it should you should track the you should explicitly say that this element was hidden. Like it should be, you should hide the element, but you should also um wait you should also keep track of that. That could be a little bit annoying, but we can do that because when we send the form, this part will be set, and if we have a required field, oh my fucking god, don't do that. And if we have a required field, but this field gets hidden, this shouldn't be required anymore, right? And but if we if we go to the submit form, and we and we already have this box here that contains the default data. It's not enough, because this like if this is like wait, hold on, let me just write this. So but if okay, this is shown by default, okay? Like it should be required anymore. And so if we check this should be the fact that we checked this box that hides this element should be shown here. Like not actually we check the box. The fact we hid the element. That's because if we submit the form, you cannot submit. You cannot just submit the full data. Like You can also retrieve the default data from the database, but you also need this because that tells us that this element was hidden, and then it's not required anymore. If we don't put if we don't store this, we don't have enough information to tell that this field is not required anymore, and the form is automatically not valid. That was the issues that was the issue that I was that I figured out yesterday. Also, if we remove this data, I'm kind of curious. What happens if I remove this? Like does this? Yeah, it displays streaming. Okay, um, that's good. But you know what? I like to keep the status even more. Like I'm just gonna add a red circle here. Um, yeah, the- I think this is better. Um, so this is our submit button. So the submit button should retrieve this box, right? We should retrieve this data, and this and it actually tells us like if a required field got unrequired, or how can I tell that? How can I say that? Like if a required field got disabled, or simply we took away this required property and it's not required anymore. Like anything can be possible, you know? So the required field checks if it is required and if it is currently visible, because if you put a required field in on an invisible field, that doesn't make any sense, you know. So uh, we have to define what we actually store there. Like, should we just store, if certain fields got hidden, or you know or the required property got disabled, or we should store, if we change the label or anything like that. That's the real question. What should we actually store? Okay, let's do a quick recap of how we structured so far. So, a farm. This is our farm, and our farm is just an array. It's just an array of elements. It's just a vector of elements of fields, like, and each field has an index, of course. Like we have 0. Wait, let's do it. Let's mark it red because that's like our how can I say, our primary key. I mean, this is how we can like um this is how we can identify, like it's our unique identifier. We have the index that goes from 0 um, to n minus 1 probably. I don't know, like, because we also have some special special index, like the minus 2 is the summit, and the minus 1 I don't even know. I totally forgot. um Although let me check um this Excel. So this is this is the you can't see it here. This is the element 0, and this is the element 1. This is the label, and this is the input. You can clearly see it. So it goes from 0 to 1, and the submit thing is, this is the EF. I think it stands for end of the form. It should be EOF probably, but it's fine. That's the EF, and it's the submit button. This is the submit button, and also we have the style property that it's actually if we go here, like it's the index is minus 1, so the minus 1 is the style property, right? Probably. And that's the ES, probably element style. That's the ES element. And I'm glad the box, like this box, works pretty well. And yeah, I'm glad that I did a great job there, because yeah, I spent hours for it, but it was really worth it. So we have this form, and we have, like, we have this scheme, like we have this structure, and hold on. Oh, I have to, sometimes I have to come back to check if I have new if I have new people on the stream. So this is how each element is structured. Each element has an ID. An ID. Oh fuck. Each ID is unique, but it can be null. So if you put null, there is no way to identify if there is no way to identify each field, because it's null. Like originally on the request I wanted to use IDs, but then I realized, or I just remembered, that IDs can be null. So we should be use the index to identify each field. We should only use the index. The ID is just a feature that I put for users to, you know, to create events or make rules. Like if we open the event management system, I need to fix that because I don't know what the fuck is happening. Hold on. What the fuck, bro? This is. That's not me. Uh, Bro, this is. Hold on, let me hard refresh. Uh, what the fuck? I fucking hate when this happens. There is this weird bug that the event management doesn't even show. We need to fix that, of course. But bro, this is fucking annoying. So we have our event manager, and when we have this, we have um this these events, and we use the ID to reference a specific field. But this is for the user. This is for the event management to make things way easier. Like, you define the ID info, and then you open this and you type ID info and you got the event. It's that simple. Instead of counting each element and referencing with the index. So the ID attribute is just for the user to simplify things, to make things easier. So we shouldn't you shouldn't, like, I as a Xgo farm developer, I shouldn't use it because this isn't the the correct, like, it doesn't guarantee that I get an unique ID. We should use the IDX instead. And IDX, for those who don't know, it stands for index. That's simple. Each index is unique, and yeah. So we have this. This is our ID, and then we have our label property. We have our label property and our placeholder property dot placeholder. So this is what we use to identify each field for our code in our server. This is for the user. I mean, for the API user, for the library user, and this is for the end user. This is like we identify each field by using the label. and the placeholder. This is what we actually use. And now the problem is, like, if the user opens, or you know if the user opens, or um the fucking, the fucking form table, like, where the data is stored. Oh god fucking damn it. What should we actually see it here? Like, you know, the a title will be shown, like, this is the index, like the form ID, but this is the name. But what name should we display here? Like, should we display the ID? But IDs can be null, so we cannot just display the ID. Or maybe we can display the label and the placeholder. But again, labels can also be, not visible. This is another issue that we have. Like, what actually should we display here? And if the label get changed, what what should we change? Like, should we create new column? Like, um, dynamic. Did I write it? Did I write it correctly? I don't even know. Dynamic label or what? Like, we cannot use IDs to reference, because the the developer can you know edit the form, and if they edit the form, the IDs will be changed. I mean, the index will be changed for each element, or I mean, in most cases, for the majority of them. And yeah, this is kind of tricky. I mean, I would use the label to identify, like, to to display the name, because I think this is the thing that makes sense. Like, we have each input. I mean, uh, each input element has a label. Like, we have a name, we have an info, we have something, we have color, and then we can add. Um, Wait, I didn't even add it yet. But if we add a checkbox, there is another label for that. And yeah, the, the each input element has an identifier, has I mean, mostly unique label. But the problem is, like, if we have two elements with the same label, what should we actually display here? Like, if we have, another element, um, hold on. I honestly wouldn't care because I just have to read an array, and this array contains, like, the information, and the label is included. And if it matches, like, it iterates each label, and if it matches, it will be put here. But if something doesn't match, we create new column. We create a new column, or simply we will hash our ID. Like, we will hash our information. Like, each element has, an hash value. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like we should hash those values. Like, the label will be put here, but actually the hash will be stored. Like, we will use the hash for each element you know, to store new values. I don't know if I should exclude the ID, the index, because if you switch positions, the index will be different and the hash will be different, and we would create unnecessary columns for that. So I would exclude that. Just, and then since we have the or hash element, I would, yeah, this is these columns are identified with the hash of the form. Like, we have our label. Um, Honestly, it's just the ID and the label. I don't even know if we should hash this because the placeholder can also be changed. So what should we do? Um, we have to exclude the placeholder. Uh, and this is a little bit tricky. The only thing we know that we use the index in our internal system to identify each field on the validation. But when we store the data, we should, make it unique. And I will probably use the ID and the label. And yeah, It's honestly I would use that. I still have to, you know, to decide what to choose. What should we put there? What should I put there? I kind of feel like we need a unique identifier, but I'm not really sure if we actually should use that. It's it's a mess. This is a mess. We need to design. Okay, I think I know what should we actually do. We have to design a system that we don't have to use like a specific structure to identify each column, but we have to use something more dynamic. And what I mean is, like, if so, oh god, um, that's the start, okay? So the thing what we actually going to do is if ask ourselves is um I oh I will use that is ID not null, and if that's true, we should simply, you know, we should divide it by the ID. Use ID. But if it's not, um, we should use the label is um, label um, not null. I don't even know if it can be null or not. And if that's true, we should use our label to discriminate each element. So at the end of the day, it's up to the developer that implements the form to organize this table. Oh shit! I'm streaming for 40 minutes already. Um, so hold on, let me charge my phone very quick. Maybe we can add a unique index, but that would be a mess. So each column has, the display name attributes. Then um, we have a reference. Okay, and the reference is actually contains two values. It's a tuple, right? We have the type of the reference, and that can be, that can be um, an ID or a label or yeah, I don't really know what we can actually use. I will use the ID and the label for sure. Like this is what what will I actually use. Then um, we have the value, of course. Um, I mean the value of the reference. I don't mean I not the actual value. The value will be stored here. Wait, hold on. This is kind of confusing. I mean, the I mean this is independent. This is the value of the reference. Like if I reference an ID, I will store the value of the ID, or there I will store the value of the label. You know what I mean saying? This is pretty much how it works. This is how data is stored. Luckily, when we use some when we use APIs, we don't have this problem because each data will be just sent. Like I don't care what I think, like I don't care what I'm doing. You have the data, you can do everything, you can do anything you want with that. Like if we use, our Discord API, we will uh if like the form will be created with a message and we don't even need the index or the name, like it's just a message. Like if we send it to Discord, a message will just be displayed, like it's just the label and then the value. We don't have anything else. Like of course we have the title here, and then we have the value based on the inputs, and the label. We don't need anything else. We don't need the index. We don't need the, like. Luckily, most APIs don't even need that thing. And that's a good thing. The only thing we need is to create this fucking column and nothing else. Like honestly, but I just realized that when we send the data, I think it should be we should send we should send how it works, like uh how can I say it, what even am I saying, like when we send our form, we should send each data. We should send everything: the index, the ID, the label, the placeholder, everything about the field, because we have to keep track of that. Yeah, I will do that because I think some APIs will require that. Like it would be really useful. So I'm just gonna keep track of everything. Like we have our form and we have every information about the status of each field. Yeah, this is basically how it works. Okay, I'm going to BRB real quick. Oh shit. Yeah, I'll be right back in a few minutes. I'm gonna rest a bit. I will also, I will also turn off the mic. Am I still streaming? Um, oh god. I mean, hello? I think I am. Because the my internet turned off for a little bit, but I'm back. I didn't fully rest right now. Um, so let me just try to think right now because this is kind of tricky. Like this is this is actually a different problem. This is how we structure our element. But should we focus on this right now, or should we simply do it later? Because this is another problem. Okay, back. Where the fuck is the food noise? Okay, found it. So let's keep going. So this is our display name. This is our reference. This is our value. This is when we actually need to store, the database. Uh, Not the database, but the fucking table. It's just a table. It's nothing else. And yeah, I think we should store the everything about the value. Okay. Should we also store the rules? No, I think that would be too much. We just store the properties, and that's it. That's what we that's all we need to do. And the concern is that storing all of this data would require so much space. This is the only concern I have. I don't really know if we should actually do that, but when I will just store, I will use another table on the database for this table, and for this table I will just store this value right here, and I will create, and the records table on the database will store everything, and if I want I can delete the data because the API request was performed and we don't actually need it anymore. But I will store it for, just in case if I want to change something specific on the form. And that's pretty much it. That's what I that's what I'm going to do. But if we go here, yeah, we need to store everything. Like we need to keep track of what we actually do. And this is like, yeah, I mean, we simply need everything. So if we go, am I streaming properly? Yeah. If we go right here, and then we go xgo forms data f2, we have to change this. Like we have to, we have each ID. We have to create. We probably have to create this JSON file, and I will just put fields, the fields property, and the fields property will just contain this part here, and then I would probably store it this way. Maybe, or just an array, and this will be an array of values. Like we have the first is not even a field, so we have null. Then we have the name, and the text name is name. Wait, like can you just give a random name? Holy shit, get the fuck out. Yeah, get out. Okay. And then if we have things like that, and when we something, and then the color is an object type probably, or just the color type. But if we have multiple fields, like just imagine we have um, another field that contains multiple rows, or like a list of checkboxes. We probably need an array, and if we have and the list is just true, false. Yeah, this is a list of checkboxes, for example, like on this instance. Or if we have a matrix, we store a matrix. Like, oh Jesus, we started something like this. Like we have a matrix of you know um, columns, like of text or checkboxes. We just need um, hello. The value is true here. Like this is you know this is a this is a matrix. Yeah, it's we should do something like this. Like this is the actual data, and this is the field data. And I don't understand why fields you know is highlighted on a different color, and data is not. This is weird. Like, oh right. Wait, wait. How the? Let's. Yeah. This is how we structure. Like data is just an array of values, or simply we can just not put data but values. Yeah, that's actually what we want, right? And the fields contains the fields element actually contains the. I will just do it from here. Fields will just contain the property, the um, it's just this. So we just need that. And the result will be stored, inside values. I think this is I think this is great. I think this is really great. So um, if we go back here, like let's just pretend like yeah, we just need to like this box is this. Oh my fucking god! I mean, um, that's the box that I'm talking about. We have the information for each field. So this doesn't exist anymore because if we want to do something more flexible, we need something like this. We need something like this. And we just need to keep track of each, of each, um, of each change. Like if we change the placeholder or required, we just need to keep track of that. And we already created the array. I mean, I don't know. This is an object actually. You know, and yeah, this is how we are going to do it. So we need to store things dynamically. Because doing things like that, it will guarantee us more flexibility. So the submit function will read this and it will check if the values are valid or not. And honestly, the required thing is not even a rule. Like if we put oh god, I mean, no, what I don't know what I was about, what I was doing, but if we put the required, like if we edit this variable, we can actually bypass the required field. But the rule system is different. So there is a difference between rules and the required property, because the required property is just a front end side. This is a front end check. Like it's actually a back end check. It's also a back end check, but nothing prevents me to go there, and pick the third element and change the required attribute. I can do that. You know, I'm allowed to do that. I can change it to true or false. And if I submit that, if I submit this, the same thing applies to visibility. And if I submit that, the front end function will actually validate it, and the backend function will also validate it, because the properties will be read dynamically from here. But with the rule check, the the properties are not like are like read dynamically, but it's not a front. There is no front end check. I mean, yes, there is, but the but there is no front end influence. Like if we change our properties, the rules will remain the same. Will be the same. That's pretty much it. And the things that we shouldn't be allowed to do is to change the ID on the front end and the index. That's the only thing that we cannot do. Like if we change the index, that would be a huge problem it's because we use that to reference or fields. So this is pretty much how it works. It's a little bit complicated, but this way is way more flexible, right? Hold on, let me check if it's okay. For now, everything is good. So, to do that, actually, this is not even a label. This has a different property. This is a text, but this is a label. Yeah, the difference is if you click on the label, it will, you know, it will act. It acts like a. It acts like a part of the actual field because it actually is. But if we click on the text, nothing will happen. This is like how we will handle things. Now we have to create or front end check, and when we, you know, let's pretend that we have or you know we have our wait, where is it? We have this, and then we have the data. But the data is actually split in two parts. So to do that, we just have to iterate on each element. And this is just a simple for loop, like for let I equals 0, I less than data dot fields dot length, then I plus plus. Probably, and then we have a switch case. We have the switch for the type. So So the we have let f equals to um, this, then f the type, and we need to switch the case. Like if we have text, um, wait, yeah, we'll just put this here. Like we have text, we have text area. This is usually oh wait, I forgot to. Then we have the color. What else do we have? Oh, we have the number, and I think the type is number. Don't really know. So um, if this, like, if this is null, like um, if um, v, let me just um, I don't know, if f dot required and f dot, do we have the visible property yet? We don't have it yet. Okay, but I will just comment this part, and f value, um, I mean v is v dot length, the string of v dot length is God, is 0. We will return, like, nothing will happen. Like for now nothing will happen, but I will just put messages and things like that. This is what I'm actually going to do. Like there is data, and then after that, like after we did that, the data will always check if there is if the fields are filled or not. Then So we also need to define, of course, that um, v is equal to data dot values dot I mean on this in this index. This is a really basic implementation of the front end check. This is really basic. Actually, I don't know if I should, stop it here or just keep going for another 30 minutes. And but this is interesting. We could simply, check if value dot length or required is defined or not. Like we can simplify this, but I will go into optimizations later. For now, I'm just trying to make things work, to make the most flexible API. And it's actually pretty cool how things start to work. Like to 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 reach this, or even better, to reach that, it's actually we just ran we just ran thousands of lines of code for, for that, like on both front end and the back end. And I'm glad to see that everything works fine, and it's really cool. It's really cool. Okay. For now, I just I will just okay. I will just comment this out, and then I will just um use console the log, and and it just says like f dot um probably this. Um, okay, let me just make things work. Like if we put this, like let's pretend we have this, and when we submit this, um, and if we submit this, we will just um, I'm trying to think right now. Oh Jesus. What the fuck? Uh, need to define this. I don't know why I put this thing here, but you need to define this function. And this is a function, right? And this will take the e element, then we will just console log this e, right? And probably, and we will probably add this ID. So we will put this, and this is the actual ID. That's ID, and documents dot D, and I will just put this um, dot add event listener, and then it's just, I think it's click, yep, and then we will pass this function. So if we do that, we have an error. Wait, what? Wait, oh god, I'm fucking dumb. Let's try again. Why? Why does this give us an error? Oh, I fucking know why. Wait. Yeah, I know why. And this is annoying. This is really annoying. But it's not a big deal because we just have to, put this here. And the init function is actually defined inside the ifs.js. Yeah, I need to retouch that part. So if we go to our database, no. Then we go here. I just add this. Yeah, this part should be, we shouldn't include this part because when we initialize it, we should actually, oh god, this is confusing. Wait, let me just, so we have this if else statement, and we probably want this to be here. We'll just replace this, and then we replace this, and everything should be fine, right? No, it's not. This doesn't give any error. All right. Wait. Oh wait, we need to initialize it here. Okay. There is, oh yeah, there is a function. Yeah, this is the function. Okay, we need to define it here. Yeah, I know it's not the best practice, but Can you please don't do that? So let's just remove this part. So let's revert the changes. And then after we... Where the fuck is the initializer? There it is. And after we, you know, we added this. Oh my god, this is fucking terrible. So this is the or if statement. What is this? Yeah, it's actually the lambda function right here. To get this scope, it's this, okay. And probably, wait, this is confusing. Okay, this is the end of the scope. We just need to, put this after the semicolon. Don't fucking just like that, right? Let's try again, I guess. And now everything works fine. And yeah. What the actual fuck is this? What am I printing? Also, I'll just comment this part. What even am I printing? Oh, right. Oh my god. We don't need to print that. We actually need to call the function. And the function is, the function is the thing that I deleted previously. Wait. Where the fuck did... Oh, it's this part. So I need to submit this. And honestly, I had to print the element because I need to retrieve data. Some data. Like, I need to... Where the fuck is the target element? That's the target. Holy shit. This is... Okay. Let me just print the targets. No. it should be not like that. It should be like that. Um, I will just define it inside inside this variable, not this but this, and then click this, and if we have the not et but el, yeah, um, and then we have attributes, and we have it here. We have the fs token, and I don't really get how I can just do el.get attributes fs token, and we get it. So this is what we actually need. So, oh god. So we don't need this anymore, and we need this. I mean, targets, get attributes, and then we have to pass the data. And the data is wrapped inside a JSON element, and inside this JSON element I will just put fields and then values. Oh god, this is a little bit tricky. So inside the fields part, we should put each. We should put we should put this. Should put data inside these values. We should put another object that is created here. It's called let values equals to an empty array, and then we have to iterate each element. For now, I will just put this here. It will throw an error, I know. And what the fuck? Alright, I need to. It will throw an error. I already know that. Oh wait, it doesn't. Wait, what? How does? Okay, it doesn't throw any error, but yeah, it works so far. Like, I mean, it doesn't do anything. It's just displays that it's valid even if it's not actually. But we have like a really basic and incomplete implementation, and I probably know why it works. It works because because the field is not required, and I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't know why it works, but I'm a little bit tired right now. and I will stream for another 7 minutes to reach 2 hours. And okay, actually, we are in a good point. Like if we go here, uh, this is where we validate our form on the front end. Check. And before doing and after we check this, we need to call this function that will actually check if the rules are, if the rules are followed. Now this is how it works. And I'm passing the complete status. The cool part is that the form is not, this is not an iframe. This is literally injected code into your page. Like, it's part of your page. You can see it here. It's not a it's not an iframe because iframes are not that good. You have literal elements inside your page, and I think this is very cool. Like, it works pretty well. So yeah, I think that's that's all for, I mean, not for today because I will I probably stream later today, but I think this is all for now. Yeah, we can actually see that we have it right here. And after we define that, we will implement, a simple loop that iterates each element. And if you have the elements, you will, everything will be checked. Like, I don't necessarily know why it doesn't throw any error, because this is an end check for a negative result. So it checks if this is required, but this isn't. But everything, like every element, is actually. Um, let's go for data f2. Actually, each element is not required, so this is already false, and it jumps right there without performing this check, and this is why it doesn't throw any error. I was confused because I thought I did the opposite thing. Like, I put the valid check on the first statement, and it checked both statements, like both conditions, before coming to a result. But and I was confusing for that reason. But actually, uh, I clearly know why, because this is just the negative result and this is the positive result. I put it on the else block. So if this is fails, and it already fails without performing the check, it immediately jumps to the positive statement. You know. So I for now I'm streaming for 2 hours. I'm gonna take a break, and I will probably come later today, and I will stream. I don't know. I probably stream later today, and I will see you in the next time. See ya.